Despite possessing the most advanced communication technology in history, our democratic and economic systems are exhibiting signs of structural fragmentation. Robert D. Putnam's Bowling Alone serves as a rigorous, data-driven audit of a failing societal ecosystem. Putnam focused on a specific statistical anomaly. By the late 20th century, more Americans were bowling than ever before, but formal league participation had plummeted. People were still playing, but they were doing it in isolation. This drop in bowling leagues signaled a broader collapse across all formal community organizations, from local parent-teacher associations to labor chapters and neighborhood civic clubs. Analyst Elizabeth Morrow frames this data as a measurable breakdown of systemic infrastructure. The disappearance of these local groups removed the foundation of democratic stability, creating the fragility we see in the system today. Sociologists define social capital as the networks, norms, and shared trust that allow groups of people to coordinate their actions toward mutual goals. In the mid-20th century, dense networks of civic participation were the default state of adult life. As this industrial union council meeting demonstrates, mid-century citizens regularly gathered in formal, highly organized assemblies to manage their collective interests. From a systems perspective, trust operates as the functional currency of community life. Just as financial capital provides the liquidity required for trade, social capital provides the civic liquidity required to solve collective problems. When that liquidity dries up, society pays a hidden cost known as the inaction tax. This tax manifests as a deficit in public health outcomes, decreased economic efficiency, and legislative processes that stall because the mechanisms for negotiation have vanished. We have lost the institutional vocabulary required for cooperation, leaving us unable to act on our most pressing collective challenges. The breakdown of this infrastructural network was universal across American life, raising the question of what specific force drove the decay. The data points to demographic inertia as the primary driver of the collapse. The World War II generation established a historical baseline for extraordinarily high civic engagement. For this cohort, duty to the community was a central organizing principle of personal identity. Their commitment sustained the physical machinery of democracy. They populated the local boards and staffed the polling stations, ensuring the system's daily operation. This chart models the inertia multiplier. As the World War II generation was replaced by smaller, more individualistic cohorts, the total engagement line steadily dropped. This demographic replacement masked the structural collapse, functioning like a slow leak. Younger generations were raised in an environment where the blueprints for collective organizing were no longer being transmitted from one cohort to the next. Replacing one generation with another resulted in the loss of the habit of community organizing. We can frame civic engagement as an ecosystem that is vulnerable to habitat destruction. Suburban sprawl functioned as the primary physical destroyer of this habitat. Increased commute times and geographic mobility disrupted local ties, leaving citizens with less time to invest in their immediate communities. This physical isolation was accelerated by a technological shift in how we spend our leisure time. The rise of television moved leisure from the public square into the private home, replacing active participation with passive consumption. Modern digital platforms optimized for the speed of information that removed the social friction inherent in face-to-face contact. Social friction, the minor, mandatory interactions of daily life, served as the historical building block for trust between neighbors. In prioritizing geographic and technological independence, we engineered out the physical friction required for societal resilience. Because human beings are social by nature, the collapse of local civic groups created a vacuum that had to be filled. Putnam's model predicts a specific logical consequence when benign social networks disappear. Sociologist James Coleman noted that social capital has a dark side that emerges in the absence of broad community ties. These alternative networks prioritize insularity and exclusionary practices over the generalized trust of a town or city. When we stop interacting with a diverse range of neighbors in person, our social worlds shrink. We begin to seek belonging in hyper-segmented digital spaces where we only encounter those who already agree with us. These polarized nodes generate high levels of internal trust, but they weaponize that trust as intense distrust toward anyone outside their specific tribe. The erosion of local ties left a void that digital tribes filled with a new, aggressive form of belonging that threatens systemic stability. The single most important asset mapped in this data is the concept of generalized reciprocity. This is the belief that a favor done for a stranger today will be returned by the community at large in the future. This barn raising represents the physical manifestation of that trust. These men risk their safety, assuming neighbors will provide the necessary support. The data shows a society approaching a threshold where the default worldview shifts from the collective to the individual. Maintaining an existing trust network requires minimal energy, but rebuilding that network from zero requires an exponential amount of effort. Once a civic ecosystem crosses this threshold, the democratic mechanism seizes, rendering top-down solutions ineffective without a bottom-up network to carry them out. Rebuilding the bonds of community is not a matter of sentiment. We face a structural engineering challenge. We must deliberately design civic friction back into our daily routines and our public spaces. Every local interaction serves as a reinforcement against systemic collapse. The survival of complex democracies in the 21st century rests on our willingness to rebuild the physical infrastructure of human trust.